She's up and moving. No. That would be them. Okay. Good. An hour ago. Not the computer. Piece of shit. There. Show notes. Keep track. Lord knows we always go off script. Such thing as a script. It's just bullet points, and then we talk about them. That's usually how it goes. Just waiting on it. Matt Six will be joining us today instead of not anymore. Apparently, he wanted to come and talk to you guys himself. The video that we posted on the social medias was not good enough, and he just so happened he had the day off. So he'll probably join us for his last episode, at least for the time being, while he's handling everything else. But it would be good to have him on now because we've got a lot of NBA talk to have today. I'm sure everybody's entertained, we should say, about this weekend's games. I restarted my computer. It updated. It restarted on its own again. So fun. Don't get an HP, people. That's all I'm saying. Stick with Apple or an actual fucking PC. If you're gonna use a laptop, it should only be Apple. You know, I can't even see what you guys are asking or saying or anything. Get to it in a second when it comes up. Or there's probably none of you watching. I'm just kind of talking to myself the whole time. Either way. Dun da da da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Here he is. Here he didn't go nowhere.
Yeah, to make it in. Yep. Yeah, this definitely will probably be the last one in a while. I just happened to take the day off.
Hey.
Take the day off. So I was like, oh, it's Monday. I'm like, because I almost hit you up last night. It was because I was, because I got off yesterday at like like two something. So I almost hit you up and was like, shit, let's just do the show tonight. And then I got to watching the game. Before I knew it, it was damn near 8 o'clock already. I was like, damn. So then when I had to take the day off because we didn't have a babysitter for Royal, so I was like, I'll take the day off and then just go in tomorrow. 'Cause I was gonna take tomorrow off at the end of the day, so I was like, I'll just flip flop. I'll just go in tomorrow and take the day off. So,
hey, if you would have told me that, we would have just gone Tuesday. So fuck it.
oh yeah.
We would have gone tomorrow, but hey, it's all right. Either way.
Fridays and Saturdays, but like for a lot of Fridays, like I have gigs on Fridays, so shit. Some Saturdays we can probably try to squeeze something in on if I'm not doing nothing. I'll let you know, like, hey, even if we do a Saturday.
Yeah, might have to flip the schedule around.
Yeah. I won't say it'll be every week, but we can definitely. I might be able to still squeeze some appearances in here and there.
We'll figure it out. Oh shit! Doing basketball ends. What are we gonna do?
I know. I'm like, shit. There ain't nothing.
I just started thinking about it. Like,
well, I mean, football is gearing back up, so it won't be that long, in between.
yeah, spring training and all that.
You got college got to be starting back. High school will be starting back. So they all start back before the NFL. So
I stick to what I said. We're not fucking watching baseball.
I don't fuck with baseball.
Not doing it.
Yeah.
The only type of baseball that has been appearing on my timeline is San Jose State baseball. And they just got done beating the shit out of Air Force 30-9.
Oh,
I
damn.
I didn't know you could score 30 runs of baseball.
I'm like, damn.
I didn't know you could score 30 runs of baseball, but they fucking did it. 30-9.
The 10-run rule?
I was like, damn. I was like, Air Force would have beat any other team with those 9 runs.
Yeah.
But unless those 9 runs are like garbage time, we're just going to put up our backup pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
Our freshmen that don't get any love, we're just put them out there for some experience. Don't worry about giving up anything, dude. It's 30-9. No way in hell they're catching up. Don't even worry about it. But that's the only baseball that I've been even getting updates on. Everything. I mean, I've been getting all the other shit from Sports Center and ESPN, but I'm just kind of like, there's nothing about this that impresses me right now. Like there's nothing that they can do or have done that's gonna make me watch this year.
Yeah.
And like this, just it doesn't make any sense. Like it. I mean, obviously the game makes sense, but fucking, it's just too boring.
Yeah.
Too boring.
I can go to a game, I just can't watch it on TV. I should have just like wait till I can't just sit there and watch.
Even going to a game now is just like, fuck, I'm just gonna sit out here and get fucking sunburned.
Right.
It's gonna take forever. I'm paying $50 fucking for a goddamn beer.
I remember the funnest game I went to when I worked at Home Depot. Me and my coworkers went. It was Giants versus the Dodgers. This is back like in '95, and I think the one that series was advanced. Going to the World Series or something like that.
In '95,
we had we like carpool. There was probably about 12 of us that went. We had a fucking blast that night. It was at fucking Candlestick was still.
Oh yeah, I was about to say it wasn't at Pac Bell yet.
We went. I remember one of my managers had a Dodger jersey. He was a Dodger fan, and one of the fans started throwing mustard on him. And we walking down the little, Candlestick. You got to walk down that long ass tunnel.
I forgot this is '95. You ain't showing up in a fucking Dodger jersey to a fucking Giants game in '95, bro.
Like I'm a Giants fan, but I'm like, there are just certain shit you don't do, and like he's like antagonizing him, and this dude is like following us down. So finally, we put this fool up against the wall and was like, back the fuck up, like,
we've told you once, we've told you again. Stop.
Like saying that, he just kept like staring at him, just like getting in his face. I'm like, dude, like you about to go over this fucking wall in a minute, like.
So you're about to be introduced to left field, motherfucker. You better chill.
This was like as we were leaving the game, so you'd have been like out, Candlestick, and you walk down that long ass to get down.
Yeah. Nope. Yep. It's a dirt road. You'd be eating some dirt.
I'd rather be a part of Candlestick.
Put you in the foundation, motherfucker. You better relax. I mean, you could probably find a hole in the foundation and fill it up. That fucking old ass.
Yeah, that shit was
ridiculous.
I used to love going to that stadium because we used to always go as a kid. Because my great grandmother, she lived like 10 minutes from there. So one of my friends' dad, he would take us all to home games as kids. Because it was only, I think it was like $1.50 or something for like kids to get in back then. Like growing up,
$1.50?
Like for the kids, yeah. So he would take us we would walk like to all of the games. Like we was walking distance to Candlestick, and we'd walk to all of the games. He'd take me and my friend. It was a Mexican cat and his son. I think his son's name was Jose. That shit was like years ago. But I remember going. That's when like Will Smith, or not Will Smith, Will Clark.
I was like Will Smith. What the fuck is Will Smith doing over there?
Will Clark, Candy Maldonado, Chili Davis. All of those guys, that was back then. Like, that was back in the day. So I remember that memories growing up. I remember shit like when the Rolling Stones had their final concert at Candlestick, we could see the fireworks from the house. You can hear it from the house, and you can see the fireworks at the end of the show. So yeah, Candlestick got some memories, and it's just sad to walk past there. This fucking apartment complex now. I'm just like,
I was born too late, and I got to California way too late to even be able to sniff what it was like during the great days
oh yeah.
of Candlestick during the Niner and Giants eras and everything. Fuck,
I
man.
only went to like one football game there, but yeah, it was mostly like baseball. It was all baseball.
Damn, you didn't go watch Steve Young and Jerry Rice?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that's right, you're a Cowboy fan.
Now, when I was growing up, it was still Joe Montana. I grew up with Joe Montana.
Oh, Joe was still there, or all 80s.
I used to see Joe Montana up here at Rockland, like because they would practice at Sierra College. That's where training camp was. It used to be the Niners training camp used to be at Sierra College.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we would drive out
Didn't know
here
that.
and go see. Yeah, that used to be at Sierra College. Yep, every year. So we
Huh.
drive here like every year and go see him. Like my family, they die hard Niner fans, and I was just like, to me, it's just football players. Like I wasn't no Niners fan, but I'm like, hey, to get the opportunity. I got to remember getting like Bubba Paris his autograph, like when he played. Yeah, they go
I
Bubba.
got his right on. I got his right on the wall right here.
Yep, big Bubba Paris, and
He came and spoke at my middle school, and then there was one day he was signing. I mean, this might sound bad. I'm telling the truth. Where I fucking saw the man, like fucking he's signing autographs at Target, and I look at him. I was like, oh, I was like, hey. He's like, Mr. Parrish, how you doing? And he remembered me because it was literally like 2 days before when he had gone to the middle school. So you remember that I was there because I mentioned the school and all that other type of shit. He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, how you doing? Talked it up a little bit. Then he signed the picture. It says Big Bubba Paris, number 77.
Yeah.
84, 85, 89 Super Bowl champion with 49ers. I was like, hell yeah. Got that shit. Well, I got that down. Is he going to be in the Hall of Fame? I don't know. I don't. But, I mean,
yeah,
regardless.
You don't really hear about, like, the offensive, like offensive linemen and stuff like that. Really,
there's.
Like, I know there is, but you usually just hear, like, it's always the quarterbacks and the wide receivers and the running backs that you generally,
DBs and linebackers.
Supposed to be the key player. Out the line, you ain't doing shit. So really, the line is your most important.
Yep. There's Kay. Everybody's been waiting for him, man. They say hello. Did you guys hear AB wanted to retire in Steelers?
So you doing what?
Weird shit.
We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, let's get this shit started. In 5, 4, exactly 3, 2. Game 7s are supposed to be competitive, right? Pat Bev may need to take a sip out of a shut the fuck up. The conference title games have been set, and AB wants to retire as Steeler. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the All Pro JAFFO, the PvP podcast, where we bring you the highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan. I'm your host, JP, and alongside me, as always, the best DJ in the entire world, coming back yet again, DJ Matt Sticks.
I'm here for a second. I'm here for the night. I couldn't let an episode go by, without me officially coming on here and saying my bye. I just can't do it on video. I got to do it live. So,
he got here for a good time, not for a long time.
Oh,
yeah. And the 6'10" beast from the southeast, Mr. Country K.
All my people.
And ladies and gentlemen, this episode brought to you by new sponsor of PvP and the All Pro JAFFO's Popple, the #1 digital business card platform for teams and individuals. Use the promo code PvP Family for 25% off at checkout. Popple, we help professionals network better. So let's get right into it. Game 7s that went on yesterday between the Celtics and Bucks, and then the Mavericks and Suns. But neither, all the hype that we're going into these Game 7s, none of it lived up to anything. It was all pretty much bad first game and last game. You got Norbit on there? Is that Norbit I'm looking at as his background? First game of the day, Celtics and the Bucks. Celtics beat the Bucks 109-81. Grant Williams deciding to come out of nowhere, hitting 7 3-pointers, finishing the game off with 27 points, an additional 6 rebounds, going 10 for 22 from the field. Jason Tatum had 23 points, hit 5 3-pointers of his own, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists. Giannis in the losing effort was 1 assist away from a triple-double where he had 25 points and 20 fucking rebounds, including that 9 assists. So he almost had a triple-double there. He also had I forgot what it said on the in series history. The stat line that he had the most points, assists, and rebounds in series history.
1,500. 2,000 points.
200. It can't be 2,000. People go half a season without getting 2,000.
Dude.
It can't be 2,000. 2,000 points in 7 games?
It might have been 200. I'm tripping.
I thought it was 200, 100, and 100.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean,
right.
But again, in the losing, and then Drew Holiday had 21 points, 8 assists. But again, the deciding factor, I mean, we talked about this off air a little bit ago. Chris Middleton definitely not being in the lineup affected the Bucks' chances majorly. He's an extra guy there that would have definitely given them some help on the defensive end. But I mean, again, who the hell would have thought Grant Williams was going to be the one to? I mean, people were looking at was it Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum to be the ones to do it? No, it was Grant Williams.
Well, it's a good thing most of Miami plays defense, so
you don't have to worry about all of them. But I mean, the Celtics move
trying
on
to make a little surprise appearance. You got that shit.
I mean, but with it kind of went south for the Bucks after Giannis stared down Horford, and Horford gave him that. Okay, all right. Let's see what happens. Giannis got a little taste of humble pie this game or this series. The Celtics are also going on to their 37th Eastern Conference final, which accounts for half of all Eastern Conference finals. I heard that stat. I was like, fucking A. I mean, it makes sense because, I mean, during the Bill Russell days and everything else like that, when they were winning 11 titles, you can see how they would make it that many times. But it's absolutely unreal. Celtics going to face the Heat in the conference title game for the East. Heat's been done since, Friday? They've already been moved on since Friday?
Something like that. It don't matter. We got nice rest. We'll sell like that.
And then the next game, something that, at least from what I've been hearing all day today, throughout social media, throughout local and national radio, the Dallas Mavericks beat the dog shit out of the Phoenix Suns. 123 to 90 was the final score, and it probably could have been worse than that. Luka went absolutely Super Saiyan on the Suns in the first half, scoring 27 points in the first half, which happened to match the total point total for the Phoenix Suns team. If they would have gone to half and it would just been Luka playing, he would have been tied with the Phoenix Suns 27-27 going into halftime. Spencer Dinwiddie came out and just exploded for 30 points. Luka ended up finishing the game 35 points, 10 rebounds, 6 3-pointers. He probably could have had 60 had he played any of the fourth quarter. They sat him down for the entire fourth quarter. Dinwiddie just had himself 5 3-pointers. He was 11 for 15 from the field. Brunson also put up 24. He was 11 for 19 from the field with 6 rebounds. And there was nobody else on Dallas. It was just them 3. There was nobody else on Dallas who got double-digit point totals. Everybody else was underneath 10. I think everybody else was underneath 8.
3 men. Y'all boy got beat by 3 men. I'm be honest with you. It's a lot of people in that Phoenix Sun locker room ate a big ass bowl of humble pie. It ain't no big contract y'all get. Y'all lost to 3 men. 3 men, bro, and not one of them is a big man.
Nope, not one of them. A small forward, a shooting guard, and a point guard. That's all they needed. Unless Luka's not even considered a small forward. I mean, with his size and everything, I would consider him that. But he's probably considered like a shooting guard.
Luka's he 1 through. I mean, they give him
he can be a 1 through 3, 1 through 4.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was ugly. Luka, every single time Luka would score, he just started laughing, mainly looking at Lil Wayne's direction. Because if we all remember, Lil Wayne put out that tweet saying Luka a hoe. So Lil Wayne is sitting sideline, courtside, watching Luka just laugh at, almost reminiscent of Reggie Miller giving Spike Lee the choke sign and everything at the Garden. It was reminiscent of that. It kind of was, because just Luka every single time, just looking at him, laughing, just big ass smile on his face. And every basketball guys came up and gave another piece of humble pie again. Because as soon as Devin Booker said that Luka special where he did that, oh, damn, they did it dirty, bro. They did it dirty in that one. He's a mixture of Jordan and Mark Lawrence. Look at him. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Oh, man. Man, Luka, I forgot who it was that he dropped. I don't know if he pushed off. He probably pushed off a little bit. The dude kind of tried to sell the flop a little too much. That's probably why they gave it to him. Hit the 3, just sat there and stared at him. I'm like, oh my God, Luka is just about to. I'm like, Luka is about to break Michael Jordan's 63-point playoff record. He's about to do that right now.
That was Cameron Payne.
That was Payne that he put on the ground?
You goddamn right. And
everyone talks tough when they're up, he says, and just goes and snatches their soul. CP3 did nothing. Devin Booker was held to 11 points. DeAndre Ayton got benched after only playing 17 minutes. Like, the Suns were, I'm hearing a lot of it for sure. They picked the wrong time to have a bad fucking game.
This picture just saying all, like Luka just looking at this food like
it's like, I'm about to steal your life.
Yes. Like just laughing at him, just with the smirk, just like disrespectful. Just like,
all game long. That's what he was doing. Big fucking smile on his face. That shit was bad, bro. That shit.
Devin Booker, he just want to cry inside. He just cried inside, like, man, ain't shit I can say to him. They whooping our ass.
That was just bad. The stands were were emptying real quick after halftime. Already, as soon as people kind of looked up at the scoreboard and saw, hold up, Luka has as many points as our team. Nah, we're going home. That's it. All people wasted all that good money on those tickets in Game 7 to have some excitement or something like that, just to watch their team get absolutely boo-fooed on national television. And it just, it was bad look. It was a bad look for the Suns.
They'll make it back next year, but can they get over that hump? That's the thing. Can they the team they got? I seen a scenario today. Somebody was like, it was a scenario with without CP3, but with Westbrook over there with them. I seen that somebody had posted that earlier today.
They'd be in the same situation.
Yeah, yep. If not worse.
Just ask LA.
Yeah.
They know they couldn't do it fucking LeBron and AD. Makes you think he's gonna be able to do it with that young squad? Hell no. Hell no.
He'll do
If
more
they
than
were smart. Hell no.
LeBron and AD. To be honest, not saying Bron,
They
but
did not
AD
make
first
playoffs.
off, AD
They were one
play
of the 10
shit.
teams. AD, yeah, also.
He ain't play shit, and to be honest, they ain't have no team like that. Like, and then I'm gonna be honest, that coach was ass to begin with.
Right.
Y'all luckily won the championship.
And
The
now they
fucking
won back.
Lakers stumbled across the championship line because Jimmy Butler took 2 of them bitches. Yeah, the Lakers really stumbled across the finish line with Frank Vogel. They really stumbled over that line.
Bad. Just bad. I mean,
So
again,
blaming Westbrook ain't fucking totally off base, but like making it seem like this man ass is like crazy. Like I can't let that go. That's
you know me. You know me. I'm always one of those like, all right, he may be good, but what is he in clutch situations? What is he in big game situations?
And are you accounting for the whole situation or just saying only in the moment perform?
I mean, there's always clutch moments in every game. If it's a close game or anything else, there's always a clutch moment or a clutch or some sort of something that happens in some sort of game, whether it's a series or a playoff game in the NFL. Like games with that much behind them, it's how well do you perform in those situations. And time again, Russell Westbrook is early vacation. So is CP3 usually.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, they great regular season, awesome talent, absolutely elite athletes. They just can't win the big one. They're just one of those that won't be. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see Westbrook ever winning a title, ever. I mean, I don't see CP3 really winning a title, ever.
That seems more far-fetched than Russell.
I mean, if they do, then hey, I'll sit here and say that I was wrong. But I don't see it. If CP3, he either gets hurt at the wrong time or he doesn't perform at the right time when he needs to. That's why when they're trying to give, like he might have had a quad injury at this game. I'm like, miss me with the fucking excuses, bro. Right. Miss me with the excuses. I'm done with people that, if he was hurt, don't fucking play. You are a detriment to your team if you play hurt. And if you do play, that means you are saying you are good enough to be able to perform at the level that you help your team. And if you can't do that, you made the wrong decision. You can't use that as an excuse. You can't be like, I was hurt. No. You decided to play. You own up to the shit. You played horribly. You are obviously good enough to play through the injury. So you need to own up to the shit that you do on the field or on the court when something like that. You make that decision, you need to own up to the mistakes you make. Or the lack of performance. He's in and out driving again. I can't really.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't hear him say nothing about it. You know what I mean? Because it would have been like bigly reported versus saying like this person said some shit. I don't think Chris said anything about an injury.
I was hearing all over.
Yeah, it wasn't until after the game that they said he was limping off the court.
Like, he was dealing with a quad injury. Get the fuck off the court.
I don't think that's the case. Like, you can be. That's what. I don't know, man.
I'm over the excuses.
At this point, I'm not gonna believe it until the player come out and say it. Because a lot of this shit, motherfuckers be fucking driving up shit to get a story, to try to justify shit, to try to make it seem like that's been this shit the whole time. Like, they've been playing so well to make it seem like, oh, Chris was hurt again.
I just look at it. I look at it as them trying to do a little PR stunt, because people are going to look at his performance these last two games and be like, CP3 played like shit. Well, it's like, oh, whoa, how do we get ahead of that to where they get a little bit lighter on CP3? Oh, let's say his quads were hurt. Like, he's been playing with hurt quads this whole time. That'll give him the sympathy card, and that'll give people the fucking benefit of the doubt. That's always his excuse every single year. It's either he's playing hurt, or he can't play because he's hurt, or there's always some sort of excuse.
You're still insinuating that that's Chris saying that. But you still insinuating that's Chris saying that. I don't think
he's not saying.
I mean, when is he came? The game just happened yesterday. The man has to have. As a player, personally, I wouldn't say a goddamn thing to nobody today. I'll still be mad about yesterday. Like, I'll still be mad about yesterday. My last interview already been it.
If that stuff is coming out, I mean, he already had to tell people, you know, on the podium and everything, that he wasn't going to retire and everything else like that. Well, if people were going to start asking him a question about his shit, hey, it's real simple. Right? A quick 1 minute tweet. That's all it really takes.
But you still not hearing me, though. Like, I'm saying, as a player, I wouldn't hear none of that. The TV would be off. My phone would be off. All that would be off. So I wouldn't even hear none of that shit. None of that shit wouldn't even got to me today. I wouldn't have been able to speak out, but connected. Like, I wouldn't have heard none of that shit.
Well, so then, if you wouldn't have heard it, by the time you did, if you do hear it, then he can be like, oh, I don't care what people say or whatever. All right. You don't have to say anything, but just know that narrative is going to be out there. Unless you shut that shit down now, that narrative is going to be out there.
I mean,
and then all he has to do is come out and say no. All he has to be like, no, I wasn't hurt. I was fine. And then people can take it off after that. Going through the cuts of no Wi-Fi signal again. But I'm just saying, like, for all of these quote unquote great athletes, whether it's like football, Kay doesn't even know he's cutting in and out. You hear? Nope. But I'm just saying, like, for the NFL, for the NBA, for, you know, basically any sport, I'm kind of over, you know, the excuses. Especially with, there's no report of any injury prior to. There's no, it's like, oh, they have a bad game. Oh, there must have been something wrong. Oh, they must have been injured. Stop using a fucking excuse. They had a shitty game. It's okay for them to have a shitty game.
Yeah.
They just had a bad game at a bad time. That's it.
Beverly even said he had called that injury. He was like, watch, he was waiting to see he was going to be injured.
I mean, I didn't agree with what a lot of Pat Beverly said, but there were some things that he said, I was like, all right, it kind of makes sense. But I was just like, yeah, it's like, why do we have to make excuses for these players? Why do they have to be quote unquote perfect? Why do they have to have no flaws? I don't get it. It makes them less relatable. But when you constantly give the excuses over and over and over why somebody doesn't report, why can't they just say, hey, I just played like shit today. There's nothing wrong with me. There's no reason for it. I don't have any ailments, don't anything. Nothing else is on my mind. And I just had a bad day, bad game. The shit wasn't clicking. Shit wasn't falling. Wasn't making my passes. Just wasn't catching. But own up to your shit. Why does there always have to be an excuse? It's just like you're a professional athlete. We can see it on tape. We can tell what's going on. I don't know, man. I'm just sick of all the excuses that get added on to these players on a constant basis.
Yeah.
It's just annoying. It's just like, oh, I'm supposed to have this image that, I have no flaws as a player and everything like that. So, well, you have 0 championships throughout your entire career. You're 0 for 4 in game 7s. There's no excuse. You underperform in big games. That's just, I feel like the day CP3 owns up to his shit is the day he might actually win a championship.
Yeah.
The day he doesn't use something as a fucking excuse will be the day he actually wins a championship. Because other than that, it's just, I get it. He's an all-timer. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I understand that. Regular season stats, they're all there. But what is the common thread with CP3 when it comes to playoff time? He ain't there. Either he gets hurt, quote unquote, or he just doesn't perform well and then blames it on something like getting hurt. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, again, I don't agree with a lot of what Pat Beverly said, but there were certain points where it's just like, enough with the excuses. The excuses got to stop. We'll get into what Pat Beverly just went in and that whole notion, what's going on around the league. We'll talk about that right now. Before we get to that, we got to get to a Rays ad. Ladies and gentlemen, the best energy drink on the entire planet is once again coming out with new limited time flavors, and this time it is called Arnold Palmer. I thought the other one tasted exactly like it. It was a lemonade Italian shaved ice, but this one is apparently going to be the actual Arnold Palmer. So be on the lookout for that. Repsports.com, reppsports.com. Use the promo code Alpha Rays to get 15% off of your order. Demand more. Join the Rays Rebellion. We appreciate Rays for being with us since day one. Yes, people, I have show notes and shit like that so we can kind of keep on track a little bit more, especially with myself, because we can jump back and forth to different topics a lot before we actually get to the point. But I said earlier in the show, Pat Beverly needs to take a little sip out of shut the fuck up, because shit that he was saying was just like, come on, bro. That he just lost and you're just going to come out. And Damian Lillard is like, bro, on TV acting like his word is lost, speaking on private convos and preying on motherfuckers' downfall. This weird behavior, SMH. I'm like, it is. It's just like, why did you need to go on every single ESPN fucking show this morning?
Yeah.
And just trash CP3? That's it. That's all he did was just hate on CP3. It wasn't about the Suns. It wasn't about Booker. It wasn't about Ayton. It wasn't about anybody else. It was all on how CP3 is trash. And yet, he's been at home longer than he is.
Right.
What the fuck is Pat Beverly accomplished?
Nothing.
Matt Barnes came and said that shit. He said Pat Beverly was completely disrespectful and out of line. Bev talking, and I'm kind of paraphrasing a little bit of it. Bev talking like he's that guy. You're not. CP played terrible. Yet his numbers are better than your career numbers ever have been. Like, it's just like,
yeah,
Matt Barnes ain't wrong either. Like, I think Pat Beverly has always had a problem with CP3. We saw that, what was it, the playoffs last year when he pushed him from behind?
Yeah.
And at that time, we were talking about like, okay, how much of a sneak shit talker is CP3? Especially with other people we're seeing on the sidelines. That's why nobody fucks with you and everything. I forgot who said. Was it? It was fucking Boogie who said that. We saw him on the sidelines. He was like, "That's why nobody fucks with you."
Oh yeah.
So that's like it left room for like, how much is CP3 kind of full of shit? How much of what we see, is presented, on TV and everything, how much of that is real to the real Chris?
Yeah.
So now we look at it now and it goes like, okay, maybe Pat Beverly's just a little bit jealous of CP3 at some points. Because, I mean, how petty do you have to be to the very next morning going on First Take? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. This just in with Max, and all these other the entire morning had Patrick Beverly on everything.
Sure, yeah, he was on there with Stephen A.
From fucking 6 a.m. to 1 p.m, Pat Beverly, or at least Eastern Standard Time, Patrick Beverly was just spewing out his ass. Like that's they just ate it up. Some of it you can look at, okay, it's a little funny, but again, it's on national television. It's kind of just like, this is Chris Paul can't guard anybody. He's like, what do we call him? A cone. He's a cone. I'm like, okay. He called him a cone, but his delivery on it, I was like, all right, swing and a miss. Strike one. He's like, they benched the wrong person. They should have benched Chris instead of 8. I'm like, well, Chris was benched a lot of the game because they were behind most of the game. So swing and a miss, strike 2. Then he brings in Paul George into it. He's like, I spoke to Paul George last night. Nobody is scared of him. I'm like, why'd you have to bring Paul George into it?
Right.
I was like, now Paul George is going to catch a lot of flack. Going like, oh, did you have that conversation with Patrick Beverly? It's just like, the motherfucker just running his mouth with no regards. I'm gonna fucking bring everybody down with is what he's doing. And then he went on. He said, "When I guard Chris Paul, I have a steak and wine the night before. When I guard Steph Curry, I go to bed at 8 and tell my girl not to call me." I'm like, but again, your numbers are not really. I'm like, you just talk a lot. That's really the only thing that's kind of special about Pat Bev. He has the gift of gab.
Yeah.
And like most loud talkers, no action. It doesn't produce on the court. Again, you can look at Patrick Beverly's career numbers. ESPN pulled that shit up easy. And it's just like, nah, bro, you ain't nothing special. Even like Matt Barnes said, you're nothing special, bro. You're a fucking role player. And possibly the weakest link on every team that you've been on. So it's like, let's just pump the brakes on who we're talking about here. I mean, again, man, it is what it is. The fact that ESPN kind of just let it all happen, I mean, they knew it was gonna, spark all the attention and all, trending on social media, all that shit. But I mean, overall, I think Pat Beverly was a fucking clown. Like he just needed just why? There was no point in it. He just made an ass out of himself. But I mean, Matt Six, what was your initial thought?
Yeah, when I first seen it, I was just like, he just got on just some hater shit. Like, you could have got on there and talked about the team in general. I'm like, you just got on there and just fucking just hated for no reason. You just sound like the ultimate hater right now. Like, for what?
Drinking that hater, man.
Right. Like, shit was all unnecessary. You could have talked about the team, but you wanted, like, after one individual, you just tried to hate on one individual. I mean, it really, you didn't hate on him because, like you say, you know, his numbers ain't better than his, so you ain't accomplished shit. You know, he may have not won a championship, but what he's done
Me
in
and
his
you,
career
bro.
is far more than what you've done.
Absolutely.
Far more than what you're gonna do.
And so Patrick Beverly forgets that his name wasn't shit until a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
All this time he'd been in the league, nobody really heard of him until a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So that's like, come on, dude. You're going after one of the, in people's eyes, top 10 point guards to ever play the game like that. Like, come on, bro. And you have nothing in your accomplishments to really back up your claims on why you're any better than he is. So I don't know, man. It's just something that he just needs to kind of check himself and kind of humble himself a little bit when it comes down to, again, who the fuck it is that he's talking about.
Shit, all you is one injury away from your career ending. You know what I mean? Like, humble yourself. Like,
and it's probably going to be CP3 the one who does it with that fucking luck.
literally, like break his ankle or something.
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not going to wish injury on anybody. I'm just saying the way these two fight with each other. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some shit went down like that. Well, honestly. Kay, what was your thoughts on this entire thing? If you can still hear. There it is.
I think that Pat has been extra. I mean, some of the shit overall, he should have did that shit. Let's just say that first off.
Yeah.
Some of the points he made, for sure, he wasn't wrong. But a lot of that shit will just be like y'all just conversing amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be around like how we talking amongst each other, but without
or even say it
like
on Twitter or some shit. Just make it a Twitter rant or something.
I mean,
that to be on national TV.
I mean, that's low key the same. That's low key the same because ESPN gonna grab that and put it on every one of their screens. So
that's awesome.
And it directly out of his mouth is literally the exact same thing. So, I mean,
fair enough. Might as well have put him on the screen.
Yeah. So,
I wonder how that was pre-booked. I wonder if right when the game was over, fucking Pat Beverly's agent or something like that just started calling ESPN and said, "Hey, if you want good ratings television, you would put Patrick Beverly on all of your programs tomorrow morning."
Well, I mean, it's still ESPN. It's not like, other than the employees, ain't no NBA players just going up there just wanting to talk to doggone analysts. You know what I'm saying? Journalists at that early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Other than the employees. So Pat Bell probably like premeditatedly thought this shit through and was like, I'm just gonna pull up to ESPN tomorrow. Fuck it.
I'm just gonna pull up to ESPN
with the shit he did today. With the shit he did today, that's the mentality show. I'm gonna just pull up tomorrow and see what the fuck happens.
I mean, it's just bad, bro. And it wasn't a good look. Like I just, he didn't accomplish anything that was, I guess, positive. You know, you had some people who obviously want to troll with him and shit and go like, "Yeah, Patrick Beverly, yeah, he's hella right, yeah." All y'all can shut up. Like, none of y'all know what you're talking about. You're just talking shit to talk shit. You're just talking out of your ass. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like with Beverly, it's like there was no need to do it the way he did. I mean, could there have been a different way? Sure. I don't know what that way is, but I know it could have been handled differently than that. And then to be bringing up other people's names into it, dragging them through the fucking mud, you know, attaching them to your bullshit. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say this: the Clippers gonna have a very interesting free agency this year. Looks like Kawhi has a new home. We don't know what that's gonna be, but He probably ain't fucking with Paul George. Mess ass. He ain't messy, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, shit, I forgot where Kawhi was. It was funny before you said that. I was sitting here thinking.
So is he still in Toronto?
He's talking about Patrick Beverly, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, he was with Kawhi. That's from the first time we heard of Patrick Beverly. You know? So yeah. So he was
in LA with the Clippers.
okay. Yes, y'all pay shit. Y'all don't pay attention to the Clippers.
Yeah, Paul George, I think he signed a deal, if I'm not mistaken, and Kawhi is up for a deal.
Yeah, Kawhi's probably going to sign somewhere else. It's just not going to be with LeBron, though. He just doesn't want to be with LeBron.
Nah, I wouldn't. I mean, with the mentality that he's showing, I wouldn't want to play with, you know what I'm saying? I want to build my own shit up, too.
Yeah. That type of shit, man. Before we get into anything else, real quick, into our picks for the conference finals that are coming up. Groundbreaking Enterprises, yes, the premier real estate company, ready to buy your house as is. Have you ever considered selling? Call 510-646-7891 and get your no obligation offer now. That's 510-646-7891 and sell your home with Groundbreaking Enterprises. Tell them the JAFFO sent you. Appreciate G for being with us for some time now. Picking the title games for the NBA for Western Conference and the Eastern Conference Finals coming up the next few days. We have the Warriors, the Mavericks, Celtics, and the Heat. Who do we got? We'll start with UK. Who do you got? I mean, obviously we know who you think is coming out of the East, but who's coming out of the West?
So I'm going and get this out. Heat and 6.
Heat and 6. Okay, so the Celtics are going to make it a little interesting.
No, I only say that just to cover.
Or just to cover your ground, just in case. All right, so Heat and 6. All right, who's your Western?
I'm gonna say Luka. Just simply because Coach Kidd is doing this thing, and the Warriors have a lot of flaws. And I feel like the Warriors are the Warriors by name and not by strength anymore.
Okay. So Mavericks in.
I'll say I'm a cover, but my soul say 5. I'm gonna say 6, but I'm gonna cover and say I'm gonna say 6, but my soul says 5.
Okay. So he's got the Mavericks. We'll just say 5, but again, we got the covered here. So Mavericks in 5.
No, 6.
Essentially.
Go 6.
Okay.
I'm
Mavericks
taking my
in 6.
cover. Yeah,
okay.
I'm taking my cover.
Mavericks in 6, and the Heat in 6 just to cover again.
Yeah, I told you I'm taking my cover.
Both series are going. He's going the in between. He doesn't want to say game 7, but he wouldn't want to say game 5. 6 is the sweet spot, especially if it's going to be competitive series all around. That's actually probably not a bad choice given the teams. Mad Sticks, who you got in the East?
The East?
Boy, yeah, the Celtics and the Heat.
Running with the Celtics in the East.
The Celtics in what?
Celtics in 5.
In 5. Okay. All right. And then for the West?
I'm going to go with the Warriors in 6.
Warriors in 6. Okay. So Celtics in 5, Warriors in 6. Okay. I'm going to say for the East, we need to get Sunshine on the show because he's a Celtics fan. So this might be an interesting conversation to have. But Celtics have been on a tear. Their defense is good, not as good as the Heat, but they're up there. Offensively, I think the Celtics are a little better. I'm going to say Celtics in 7. It's going to go just all 7 games for that one. And then for the Warriors and Mavericks, I mean, obviously my fandom wants to say the Warriors, but then just seeing how Luka's played in these playoff series, it's just the guy is on another level. I'm just gonna go Warriors and fuck it. I'm gonna put my nuts on the table. It's gonna be Warriors clean sweep 4-0. Moving on to the finals. Dallas is going to be all
sweet.
Dallas is going to be all worked and everything from going 7 games with the Suns. They're going to be all tired from that grind.
Ooh.
So Warriors are going to come in and bring out the broomstick. I got K over there dying with that one.
Wait, this man says sweet. First off, hold on. Man says sweet. Like Luke, he says Luka been playing on another level, and then says the Warriors are gonna sweep him right after that. Right at it was a sentence in between, but that was a filler. Right after that shit, he said the Warriors are gonna sweep. Wow. And then he proceeds to say the Celtics are better than my Heat. When the Heat was number 1 in the East.
That one was a tough one for me, honestly. That a part of me wanted to pick the Heat, and then another part of me was just saying, like, I don't know. Heat got him last time, in the bubble. I think Celtics get him this time here. That's just what I'm thinking at this point. For that, Warriors Mavericks, though, that one was just one of them.
The fuck are you talking about, dude?
That is so funny how I set that up, huh? Luka's been playing on that level. It's crazy. Fuck it. It's going to be a sweep. Hey, if it's a sweep, all that shit against the Suns and stuff like that for nothing. For absolutely nothing.
This man said sweet. Like
somebody had to go big with
the game at your house, at their house. All else sweet.
Somebody had to pick a big one.
Then the man said the Heat only gonna win 1 game, so the Celtics gonna beat us at home. Wow.
Did I say Celtics? No, I said Celtics in 7.
Oh, you said 7. It broke up on my end. I thought you said 5.
Was
it Matt 6 that said 5?
Matt 6 said 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See what I'm saying? Wow. But this is the same fans. This is the same person that says the Cowboys are going to go far in the playoffs every single year. So, I mean, what can you do? What can you do?
The delusion of some fans sometimes is pretty much. Especially of Cowboys fans.
I mean, I'm trying to tell y'all, if Giannis is out, it's a wrap. The Heat are to the finals. I don't know what y'all talking about. Heat to the finals. I said that shit when the playoffs started. Heat to the finals.
So if the Heat don't make it, is that episode going to be another 45-minute rant?
No, we're just going to be the final team in Cancun. Fuck, at some point, I'm going to be right. We're not the final team because the losers of the finals are the final team. We would just be the final team of the East. Whatever. Fuck it. I'm not really trying to think about that shit, bro. We to the finals. Like, I don't even want to make sense of that.
Matt Six and myself are picking the Warriors and the Celtics to go to the finals, and Kay is going with the Heat and the Mavericks to make it to the finals. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I believe game 1 of the Celtics Heat series, or is it the Warriors
start tomorrow.
Mavericks series?
Celtics Heat, we start tomorrow.
Okay, Celtics Heat game 1 tomorrow. I think game 1 of the Warriors Mavericks will happen Wednesday before the show. So we'll be able to kind of give you guys little updates on that. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting. It's been pretty fun to watch it lately. Good storylines, good basketball has been played. At least up until, or for a couple of teams at least. Game 7s for 2 teams has not been particularly fun. But other than that, NBA Finals will be set within the next week and a half or so, maybe 2 weeks. And hopefully by then NFL will pick up, because after the NBA season, it's going to be difficult finding daily sports to talk about, especially with a lot of fights and Formula One and all that stuff is during the weekend. So to fill an hour and a half show every Monday and Wednesday would be a little difficult. So we'll figure it out, but nonetheless, it'll be done.
Football.
No, that's what I'm saying. We do have football. USFL is also a thing. We can keep looking into that. Maulers got their first win. Pittsburgh got their first win. Stampede, DJ Matt Six's team is still undefeated. We don't know who Country K's team is just yet. But do we know yet? Do we have an answer? Still nothing.
I'm gonna just watch as a fan of the sport this year.
I was gonna say, so you're just watching to see if the league even makes it out of its first year.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be a fan of the league this year. I like the league. We'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Vince McMahon. I don't know how many leagues did how many years did the XFL last? The first go
in total?
No, I'm saying
the first go around.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if this can make it to 2 years, then it's doing better than anything outside of, you know what I'm saying, the European League. Or
the European League died a long time ago. CFL. Yeah, but that's a different type of football. CFL might be somewhere where AB wants to go instead of going back to the Steelers, but we'll talk about that in a second. But before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, Gunner Sports, another partner with us that we've had for a little while, the host of the Bay Area Cali Classic and the Gunner Sports Academy. Parents and coaches, if you want your players and your kids to be better, have better one-on-one time with actual, well-trained, highly accomplished coaches, Gunner Sports is who you want to get in contact with. Coaches, if you want to get your kids into the Bay Area Cali Classic, which is going to turn into the biggest all-star game in all of California. You've heard it here before, and we said it right after the game when it happened. That game is going to blow up, and you're going to want to be a part of it. So get a hold of Leslie Jackson, Gunner Sports. They're the best ones that you want to get to in all of California, Southern or Northern, doesn't matter. They're the ones you get to. Gunner Sports, Bay Area Cali Classic, Bay Area. Bay Area Cali Classic and the Gunner Sports Academy. Get your kids signed up and get a hold of them now, and we appreciate Gunner Sports being with us. AB wants to retire a Steeler. I think he needs to retire now because nobody in their fucking right mind is going to do that. Thoughts? No? Nobody has any thoughts on this? Everybody thinks he's just as much. Everybody thinks he's just as much a fucking clown as I do. Yeah.
Somebody needs to talk to AB.
He need like a good friend. Like he need a true homie right now during his time.
You need somebody.
I feel like he's just like spiraling. So
do you think the Steelers are going to give him a one-day contract and say fuck it, let him sign and retire?
No.
Not even that. You ain't retiring in our jersey, motherfucker. Hell no. That shit you pulled. Hell,
I'm be all the way honest with you. I'm all the way off this train and off this topic. As soon as my boy said, ain't no racism, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
oh yeah, he's
I'm done.
like
I'm
the
done.
sports version of Kanye. What the fuck happened?
I'm
It
done.
just
I'm be honest. I'm finna mute my mic, bro. I'm done. I'm so
he's
done with
that
this
much
topic.
done with AB. Fuck that. He said, you know what? I'm done with it. I don't need to talk about this man anymore. He's a piece of trash. He shouldn't be in the NFL ever again. Fuck it. He's gonna be in the XFL, the USFL, the Canadian Football League, whatever team to fucking take him. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, this dude is delusional. He's losing his fucking mind. He might just have a severe case of CTE that he might need to get looked at because okay. Um, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. Go on the socials. You guys know the JAFFO's AP on Twitter, the JAFFO Sports on IG, Fernando Bros Productions on Facebook. And again, we gave the video on the socials, but he had to be back to say it himself because you guys deserve that. And he feels emotional about it. He almost cried, actually, when I saw him and talk about the Mad Sticks doesn't cry. He may cry of laughter, but he doesn't cry of sadness, at least that I have seen. But Mad Sticks, my friend, let the people know what's going on, what are you going to be doing, and how can they be keeping up with you?
So my work schedule is changing, so I'll go to we change like every 4 months in our position, but I'm going weekends off, so it's just better for my DJ schedule. So I'm not constantly having to miss work, so I do some off days. So DJ life is busy, busy, busy. I got thrown a gig this weekend. It's like a wedding reception, like last minute. So I wasn't even supposed to DJ again until June, and his other
Good
DJ
luck.
till June. His other DJ hit me up today. He was like, he was supposed to do it. I guess it's his birthday or something. So he doing something else. So he wants me to do it for him. So I don't know none of the details yet. I know it's like a Indian wedding, so I know they this is like
Oh,
it's like a reception part of it. So
oh.
yeah, so
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I've catered the Indian wedding before. Those motherfuckers get down, bro.
yeah,
You are about to have the time of your life. This
no,
is an Indian wedding that you're about to do,
yeah.
bro. I don't think it even fucking matters if you have a playlist. Just
No,
if they like, you just play the good shit. People will just be jamming. They'll give you some of the music like for them to play. Like, bro, they'll have you hooked up. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. You're about to have the fucking time of your life, bro. I'm not even playing with you. This shit's about to be fun.
okay, yes. I don't know none of the details of this or nothing. I just know it's a 4-hour event and that it's an
just,
Indian wedding.
just know elephants may be involved.
Hella what?
Okay, an elephant
No.
may be involved. I only say this because again, that's what I saw. The groom fucking came in on an elephant. She came in on a white. I think it was a white horse or something. Like it was just. It's one of the more extravagant things that you're gonna see.
Okay.
It's pretty fucking wild, bro. You're gonna have a good time.
Okay.
They'll take care of you. You might get a little fucked up with them and have to dance with them on the floor. You might just have to do that. So just be prepared to have a real good time.
Okay. Yeah.
But what else, man? Let everybody know where they'll be able to. You go live on IG and everything like that. But where do they find?
You can find me on IG at DJ Mastix. You can find me on TikTok. I'll be on TikTok live too. Live, so you can find me on there at DJ Mastix. Everywhere at DJ Mastix, you can find me. We're getting ready to do a tour at the end of June. I just got the flyer. We got Bubba Sparks coming to town. So
That's who I was.
Yeah.
Me and Kay were talking about it yesterday, going like there was somebody at, and then the song in my head was booty booty booty, but I couldn't figure out who the fucking. It's like Collie Park, Bubba Sparks, and I'm like, yep, that's who it is. That's who it is.
June 24th through the 26th, so the same little tour we went on. You can catch me here in Sac. You can catch me in Lindsay. You can catch me in Fresno. And then we'll see where else it goes from there. But yeah, the 24th to the 26th of June, I'll be there.
We're going to try and pop him in as much as we possibly can. We may have to reschedule some shows around to get him on. But until we figure those out, Mad Six, my guy, just go and kill it, man. I know you will. Have a good time, and we're definitely keeping the touch. He ain't fucking going anywhere when it comes.
Oh yeah,
to
no, we all.
It's just a little vacation we're giving Mad Six here. But ladies and gentlemen, yeah, stick with him. Show him love. He's been doing a lot for the community and a lot for the people around him and everything like that. If it's one person you want to follow and keep track of his DJ career and all that kind of stuff, we say the best DJ in the entire world for a reason. That is DJ Mad Six right there. This coming Friday, Logical Senses podcast is back up and running. Adam is finally done with his production assistant gig and conference and everything that he had to do for a 2-week span. So episode 2 of the Logical Senses podcast will be back this Friday. Again, we've been talking about it a little bit. We're going to be talking about religion. We'll be talking about some, how life and everything kind of forms and revolves around that. It's going to be an episode that's going to get, people a little triggered, but again, it's one of those things that you can come, have a good conversation, be able to be civil with it. We don't need to be attacking each other and everything else like that. That's not the point of the show. The point of the show is to be able to have everybody's ideas and be able to figure out something that all of us can kind of come together and be proud of. It's a podcast that we really want to try and build another community around in the best sense. So get to it, Logical Senses. Go and check out episode 1 on Spotify right now. It's also on YouTube, the live version, everything like that. You want to see the first episode where we talked about toxic relationships and how people get in them, how people get out of them, the psychological points of everything. It's a whole ass conversation. So this next one about religion is definitely going to be one of those types of long conversations that hopefully we find a good conclusion to and everything else like that. So again, that's coming back on Friday with myself and AC out of Kane. We will see you guys then. But as for the All-Pro Jaffos ourselves, we appreciate you guys, Jaffa Army, for being with us. Bear with us. More stuff outside of just this is going to be coming soon. Football season, college football season, all of that stuff is coming up soon. Trying to get more guests, more people on here to be able to talk about their stories. So be on the lookout for all of that, especially with social medias and stuff as well. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. And until Wednesday, myself, JP, for DJ Mad 610 Beast from the Southeast, Mr. Country K. We will see you guys on Wednesday. Deuces.
Peace.
Say it, K. Say it.
Hello.